Hello, everybody. What's going on? You know what time it is. You know what day it is. It's Monday, May 14th, 2018. You are tuning into the Chit Chat Chew Show podcast from 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So, how y'all doing? Happy Mother's Day every day, 365 days, year round. Just not one day, but
Every day,
every day.
365.
But we hope that you definitely did enjoy. Once you get business, see Aisha, better known as Jade.
And I'm the other co-host and co-partner, co-business owner.
Hmm.
I go by the name Uno. That's what everyone calls me. I also want to put out there real quick, since you mentioned Mother's Day, I also want to give prayers and also condolences, peace and blessings to those who don't have their mothers with them anymore, who lost their mothers. I just want to send good vibes out to you for those who couldn't enjoy Mother's Day with their own mothers.
Definitely much love and respect and peace and blessings to your journey of healing, because sometimes people say, especially if you lost your mother and it's been, years or whatever, and some people say, well, you should get over it. Well, you ignorant people, there is no time frame on getting over losing your mother or
Or
father,
just a loved one.
or
General.
right, or just a
Yeah.
loved one in general.
Right.
So it, different strokes for different folks.
Everybody deal with stuff in different ways.
Absolutely. So
It's no
we
judgment
so
here.
we hope that your family, your mother, father, family members have transitioned, and they're in a good place wherever they may be at. Excuse me. And for those that are here, we hope that your journey to healing gets a little bit easier. So definitely,
Absolutely.
definitely, definitely.
Absolutely.
So what I did for Mother's Day was
You got loud on that part. Well, I ain't even Mother's Day.
okay. Can you just stop really for real?
I'm teasing.
We're not gonna do this today.
I do teasing
I
though.
know you was, but we still just
It
not
was
gonna
just
do this.
obvious. You just raised your voice at that particular word. It
You
was
have to. You just have to pinpoint out everything, don't you?
so what? It's a
Okay.
choice.
Okay. Facts. Anyway, we're trying to start off right.
Anyway.
Okay. So, what I did for Mother's Day was definitely put the phone call out to my mom. She was doing okay. I'm not going to feed into this one that's sitting next to me. Talk to my son and spent time with my daughter, who I normally don't spend time with, but I'm glad that we did. So I did it real chilled and laid back. Went to Dave and Buster's for the first time in Alpharetta, Georgia. It was really cool. That's one of the newer Dave and Buster's. It was really nice. The food was actually good. The games was off the chain. It was really fun. Like, I really had a good, real laid back, fun time. Got my walk on, went in some stores, bought some stuff, yada yada, blah blah blah. But at the end of the day, it was good. So that's what
Bought some stuff.
yeah, I did. So I work, I can do that.
Did you bring me some? That's why I'm looking at you like that.
Oh, God. Okay, so that's what I did.
I'm kidding.
And I'm
kidding.
I'm really just appreciative of that.
That's awesome.
And what did you do?
Does it matter?
Yes, it does.
It's a choice. No. Actually, I also spent time with my mother, so I was over there. My older brother was over there. I have a second oldest brother, so we was all over there, and there was a family friend over there too. So we basically just talked and enjoyed each other's company, catched up on a lot of things, ate. What you asked me yesterday about cooking. Yes, she did cook. I didn't think she was, but she did cook, and I
I
didn't
didn't
look.
get a plate. Okay.
But did you bring me some from Dave and Buster's? No. So anyway, um,
This is what we do. If y'all don't know by now, y'all don't, maybe y'all need to sit down and have several seats.
You're like, oh my God, drama. We're going to see some tea.
This is what we do. Is this the Jade and Uno reality show? I'll watch it now if they just expose themselves. Not.
People love drama.
They love drama. Anywho, we have.
But that's what I did for Mother's Day.
Sounds like a plan.
And she loved the gifts that I gave her, and also what you gave her too. She really liked the gifts that she got. So
Good.
I was happy that she was happy.
Mom Dukesy Lane, I'm glad you enjoyed it, and I appreciate
with her eccentric self.
And I'm glad that and my mom, I'm sure, will appreciate the gifts that she will receive. I'm a little behind with shipping off stuff, but it's all good. From myself as well as Uno.
I hope she likes my gift.
She will. She will like them. So we're just going to kind of jump into, once I'm done and Uno starts talking on topics, I'm going to invite some of you guys in the show.
Yeah, live feed. We'll invite you.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. And if you're interested, make sure that you are in the Chit Chat Chew Show podcast group, else you won't be able to hear our live shows. So this topic that I'm going to jump right into was from the New York Daily News.com. So it's nydailynews.com. And it's posted May 4th, 2018. And this was teacher forced to resign after hair pulling incident surfaces. You can tell that she was playing with him. So there might be a little controversy in this. Different strokes for different folks. People may have different opinions. Just let me read some of this. And if you get on while I'm reading it, definitely let us know your views, thoughts, comments, questions, concerns. So this is a South Carolina teacher was forced to resign after video surfaced of her pulling the hair of a student, and the school board member who hired her has stepped down in protest. Lisa Houston can be seen climbing on a Palmetto High School student's chair and grabbing his hair as she repeatedly tells him to wake up. Others in the classroom are laughing as she interacts with the student at the Williamstown school. Let me just slide that over just a little bit. Let me see. Okay, I don't know. Can't really see me.
We want to see your face though now. We want to see your face.
Okay.
There we go. Okay.
So, you can tell that she was playing with him. Resigning school board member Doug Atkins told the Greenville News. Even the boy himself wrote a letter that he knows she was teasing and he loved her. They just jumped the gun on her, and I don't want to be a part of it. Houston told WYFF that if you ask any kid I've taught, they'll tell you I kid around with them, make them stay awake, and laugh with them. I know the video looks bad, she told the station. If you don't know the situation, you don't know what's going on. But it was not a malicious act. It was all in fun. I want the public to know that I love the student and that our rapport with each other was great. I would have never done anything to hurt him. Houston retired after an investigation was launched. She resigned, but I'd say it was more of a forced resignation. Her lawyer, Ryan Beasley, told the Greenville News. Beasley told the newspaper that the video was initially posted online by a local TV station without context. There's a whole lot more going on, including the student laughing and the student in question hugging the teacher afterwards because it was a joke. They were all having fun with it, Beasley told the Greenville News. The thing that is heartbreaking is Lisa's reputation is just destroyed by this. She'll probably never work in another school because of this. It could have all been prevented just by presenting all the facts in this situation. Atkins resigned Wednesday in protest. He said he hired Houston 27 years ago when he was the principal of Palmetto and believed she deserved a reprimand, but that's all. I just don't know what I just don't want to be associated with this kind of action, Atkins told the Greenville News. She was a good teacher, one of the best teachers the district has, with an excellent record. I hired her myself and know what kind of person she is. The administration reacted in haste. Many people agree with Atkins that Houston should not have lost her job. More than 1,400 people have signed a petition calling for her reinstatement, and a march was held in her support, according to the state newspaper. The school district said in a statement that Houston decided to retire on her own accord. The district praised her exemplary record of teaching performance. So that's just giving you a little bit about this lady who they had a video of her. She stepped on his desk, the student's desk, and she's pulling the hair of a student in a South Carolina classroom. They say that the kid didn't care. It's all in fun and games and a joke and things like that. So
It really does look bad though.
I watched some of it.
Even though, now you understand the context of the whole situation, but it does look bad when that was leaked.
Right, it does, because some people are going to play the race game because it was a white woman who was the school teacher, and she's pulling the hair of a black male student. So you already know that.
And people would think it's out of spite, like she did it out of spite because of her hatred.
Right.
So,
however, for this situation, in my opinion, I mean, how it kind of came off in the beginning, I can kind of her deliverance, I guess I'll say, she could have not handled that in the way, because if you do look at it, it just kind of do look like she's like really got an issue with the student, and like she's just disrespectful. I mean, I have a problem with people touching me, touching hair and all that. I don't think that she meant no harm. Yeah. Just again, the delivery was kind of messed up.
It could have been other solutions she could have used
right.
to handle that situation. I mean, as far as the boy being asleep in the classroom, she could have, just tapped him or say excuse yourself, and they step outside, have a small conversation.
Right.
Or maybe if he's way too tired, he should go home. Get released from the school for that day and come back tomorrow. Like, there's other solutions she could have used.
Yeah, I definitely think, like you said, there's other solutions that could have been done instead of her stepping up on his desk and pulling hair and things like that.
That was a little extreme.
Yeah, that was. So with that, I don't think that she should have. She should have gotten reprimanded, like someone just stated there. But for her to lose her job to the point where she may never be able to teach again, I think that's a little too extreme. But that's just my opinion. Yeah. But then the other side of my brain will go to, if it was a black teacher, I'm just going to go there.
Right.
If it was a black teacher and that black teacher did that to a white student,
it would have been a lot of outrage.
It would have been a lot of outrage. The cops probably would have got involved, and it just would have went way worse than this. Probably
it would have been to just
he or she probably would have got locked up, especially if it was a male.
Oh man,
doing that to
a white woman,
a white student.
Well, white student or female, female, right?
Or male, probably for a white male or female,
right?
They probably would have got locked up. A lot of charges would have been, like it would have went way somewhere else.
I think that's what a lot of people was looking at too, because if that situation was in reverse, if you switch races, how that would have played out. So I think people reacted to it because shouldn't have got off lightly. So they had to really press this whole situation.
So she wound up retiring herself. Like she wound up
Yeah,
just
yeah,
quitting altogether and
yeah,
retiring.
yeah.
But yeah, it
Hey,
and let's just be honest, it would have, not probably, it would have went it would have went a different way. It would have. Let's just be honest with ourselves. It would have. That they wouldn't have been like, oh, if you want to retire or
it
whatever,
wouldn't be no
you just
retiring.
go right ahead.
Fired.
No,
That's
you would
it.
have been fired. You would have been locked up. It would have been a big extra read all about it type of thing. So yeah, it would have went different. So I it it is an unfortunate thing, but I do get why people would have played the race card with it.
Yeah. It's understandable. I'm not disagreeing with it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like you said, it's just her delivery,
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, she should have handled it better. But I mean, that's the choice.
Choice.
Yeah, it's all about choice.
Choice.
It's the choices you make in life. So you have to be very careful what you do and say, because that definitely can hurt you, or it can haunt you later. So yeah, I
Right, and
mean,
especially in a school system with everything
you
that's
can't be
going
doing so
on,
much on
that's
social
just
media.
right. On social media, like you said, you have to be extremely careful of what you say, how
Yeah.
you react. The whole touch thing.
Yeah.
Ooh, so yeah, you gotta definitely be
It should be a
careful.
boundary. If you're a teacher, it
Definitely,
should be a boundary. So
definitely. And if you see me looking down, it's only because I'm going in the group, and I am inviting some people that's already in the group. So yeah,
bear with us. Is there something else you'd like to read before I read this article?
no, no.
Okay. Well, I have an article coming from WLTX.com. The headline reads, students rally around Palmetto High. Hold on. Students rally around Palmetto High teacher and video pulling students' hair. Students in the upstate are taken to social media to defend a longtime Palmetto High School teacher who's seen pulling the student's hair in the video, apparently to wake him up. Anderson County, South Carolina. Some students and former students are taking to social media to defend a longtime Palmetto High School teacher who's seen in the video standing on a desk and pulling on a student's hair, apparently to wake him up. The teacher, Lisa Houston, has chosen to retire immediately following the incident that occurred last week. Many students are calling Houston an exemplary and caring math teacher whose reputation is being tarnished by a video that has gone viral and is being misinterpreted. Houston's interaction with the student was playful rather than aggressive. Many students and former students have said. Houston, who is white, can be seen in the video patting the black student's cheeks, pulling his hair, and nudging him with her foot as she stands on the desk in front of him. Anderson School District 1 officials said Houston has retired after 27 years of teaching at Palmetto High. The district wishes our community to know that the school administration immediately conducted an inquiry into what occurred, Jane Harrison, assistant superintendent for Anderson District 1, said in a written statement. The individual has already separated as an Anderson 1 teacher. Although the district is unable to comment in detail about the matter, the administration took seriously what occurred, and the teacher, who has had an exemplary record of teaching performance, decided of her own accord that she would retire in the best interest of her school. Students are using the hashtags, "If they fire Houston, we have a problem," and "If you fire Houston, we have a problem," to post comments about the incident, primarily to Facebook and Twitter. And of course, you can catch the video on social media. It's on Instagram, it's on Facebook, it's on YouTube, and I'm sure it's on Twitter. So if you have not seen it, check it out to see what the whole controversy is about. But I just wanted to read that, guys. So following this incident with Miss Houston, of course, on top of the controversy surrounding the situation, just on social media, the uproar, the disdain for what she did. And here you have the students rallying with Houston defending her actions based off her personality and the way she handles teaching, her method of teaching. So, I mean, I just say all around, even the race car, the teacher, whatever, all of it is just unfortunate. But like I said again, it's the choices you make. So, you have to be very careful because it can come to bite you later or it can hurt you in the end. So we just have to be more wise and conscious of the things you say and do. Because it could be detrimental, especially if you put on social media. I mean, I think the worst thing that happened to humans is creating social media. So it's just all kinds of stuff on social media that's really uncalled for, unacceptable, ridiculous to even be on social media. But it's the platform for it. But at the same time, if you're in a position, especially you being a teacher, you're in a important position that impacts the community. There's a lot of things you don't want to be putting on social media. So you really have to be careful, like very careful. You have to really set a boundary, and be professional at all times.
Definitely. So, definitely.
That's just my thoughts on it.
I mean, yeah, that's true. I mean, like you said, like I said, especially when you in that setting, in a school setting, and you're a teacher, because so much has been going on throughout the years, about teachers having sex with these students, wanting to marry these students, getting pregnant by these students, teacher and students having fights. It's just so much that's going on that, yes, you definitely, like Uno said, you gotta be so careful, because everything that's going on in the world, there's no holdbacks, and it just was just an unfortunate thing that it went down the way that it went down. But you, like you said, you have to have a certain professionalism with you. You have to be careful to what extent you kid around
yeah
with these students, because not always on the teacher side. You have some of these students that have crushes on these teachers, men and women, and it's so much that goes on. Nowadays the youth, they lying about their ages, and next thing you know, you catching like 10 years in jail.
And there's some teachers that are conscious and aware
And
of the age of the kid and what kind of kid it is. They're aware of that, so they make they don't make the right choices. They still go with the situation. They go with the relationship anyway. They're risking their careers over a piece of ass, because that's what it is. And it's really not worth it in the end, because like you said, going to jail, and for what? You're spending years in jail over
making a stupid mistake,
sleeping with an underage person. Oh, with an underage, good catch. I got a good reflex. But yeah, sleeping with an underage person. Yeah.
Please be careful, people, for the men and the women, for real, because the women do it too.
Yeah.
They do it too. So please just be careful. Make smart choices. Think with the brain, not with like with the wrong head. So with the wrong head, like don't think on the lust, think with the brain. You know what I'm saying? So,
the will. That's will.
Right.
You don't have to always feed into temptation all the time. Learning self-control.
Absolutely.
You shouldn't do it at all.
Okay.
Would you say
I invited Josh.
Okay.
And Eli.
Okay. Oh yes, we're having a conversation about who we inviting.
Yeah, who we inviting. Yeah. Because y'all, sometimes you get a little behind but that's okay. You can always listen to the replay if you're not on live. So that's really what all I had for that one.
That was it for me
Yeah.
too.
So
Got through that very quickly.
yeah, right.
I can see the show. It's probably gonna move fast.
Yeah. Um. So what's really been in the current news is the 65-year-old woman. I think she was in Alpharetta, Georgia, and the police officer. So we're just gonna dive into that and let you guys know. So this is coming from CBSNews.com. Georgia officer resigns after dragging black woman who was 65 from car. This article is May 11th. So this happened in Alpharetta. A police department in Georgia has opened an internal investigation into why an elderly black woman was dragged out of her car during a traffic stop, authorities say. The Alpharetta Department of Public Safety says an officer has resigned following the May 4th incident outside Atlanta, which was caught on dash cam video. Okay, and there is a video in here. Might be one or two videos in here, but this is sick. The 65-year-old woman was pulled over after an Alpharetta police officer saw her vehicle drift into another lane, nearly causing a collision. The department said in a Facebook post, the woman refused to sign her ticket as required by law in Georgia and was told she would be arrested for not complying. She requested a supervisor who was immediately notified, the department said. The situation seen on the dash cam video escalated when backup officers arrived on the scene. Alpharetta police said the woman became upset and struck the officer with the door of her vehicle when she tried to pull it closed. She was then told she was under arrest, police said, but did not obey the officer's order to step out of her car, saying she wanted to wait for the supervisor. One of the officers can be heard on the video yelling, "You're not in charge. It's explicit, shut the F up," probably, and get out of the car. Before two other officers are attempting, the officers pulled her arms behind her back. Officer James Legg, officer who used vulgar language, interjected himself in tactics that were inappropriate, even inflammatory, according to the department's Facebook post. Legg resigned from the department on May 11th. Department. If we're major concerns that arise regarding employee performance and behavior, Public Safety Chief Johnson Robinson said. There are aspects about this video that simply do not represent our organization. Robinson said he immediately ordered an internal affairs investigation and promised decisive action and the conclusion of the investigation. So, with all that, of course, none of us was there. But with all that, let's just say, for conversation piece, if she acted a little irate, them still having the excessive force that they did with her, I feel was definitely unnecessary. I mean,
I agree.
That was just a little.
It was upsetting. That pissed me off when I seen it.
That could have been my mother.
Right.
Boy, I would have been in jail. Yup, you would have had some visit. You would have had to visit because that's just they took it way too far. And we know that all cops are not bad, but it still just makes it real uncomfortable and kind of like you do put all cops in a box a lot of times. You do because you see, even though there are good cops that do good things,
they same violent actions, they never end. It's always something.
Right. You see the larger of situations being bad cops, and they just, and it's getting worse, people. It's not getting better. No, we shall overcome. Some type of action needs to happen. Being proactive, something needs to happen because it's getting out of hand. So my question, one of my questions is, what are we gonna do when things like this happen? Besides living that Martin Luther King dream and all of that, like what are we gonna do in 2018? Excuse me, like how proactive, what are we gonna do? Like that's things that me and Una always talk about on and off this show. Like, what about if that was your mother, a loved one of yours, and that happened to them? Do we just pray about it? Do we just turn the other cheek? We just don't say nothing. We just yes them and let them have it. What would you do personally? Like I really, whether you're on this line or off, or when you listen to the replay, when you hear us, answer the question, like what would you do? Seriously, like I what would how would you react after all of that? Because that lady is traumatized. I'm not gonna sit there and say she didn't maybe agitate or she didn't go about it maybe
I was just about to say that.
the right way, the what they're saying she did do.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, the
Doesn't-
repercussions, like what they did to her,
Doesn't
was
excuse
way
it.
beyond.
Yeah.
It does not excuse it.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's just my little 2 cents.
No, you made a lot of sense. I mean, I agree 100% of everything you're saying. I mean, when I saw the video, yeah, I felt some kind of way. Like, it pissed me off, the way they handled the situation. They feel like violence is always the answer to every volatile or uncomfortable situation when it's not. And there's other ways to go about it. That's why they need to get proper training. And not only proper training, they do have services for police officers who are going through mental illness or some trauma or some kind of sickness. And they have programs within the system, within the police system, that can help them with that as well. That way, when they go out to society and deal with people, they're able to, operate. They'll be more ready to operate better. Just deal with the citizens. While always having this, monster mentality. So
I mean, she's being this 65-year-old woman. I'm not saying she's an invalid, but this 65-year-old woman is being dragged out of a car.
right.
Like, who does that?
Right. And
They wouldn't have done. I'm sorry. It's just, I don't like playing this race card because I've always been an open person and been exposed to many people of all backgrounds and shades. But it's just sad. I gotta say it. Like, this would not have happened if it was a white woman.
Yeah.
I honestly just don't
Yeah.
believe it.
Yeah, I believe it. That's true.
And it's a shame that we live in this society where, like, everybody's uncomfortable with everybody. Right. Everybody don't want to talk about certain things. Subject, but it's a conversation piece. We have to have these conversations. We're not going to agree on everything, and that is okay. But it's just a shame. Mm-hmm. It is. It's sad. Like that. She's not my mother, but because I do have a mother who is an older woman who's 82, I could not imagine if that could have been my mother, 65 or older. And these police officers did this because it's a brotherhood. It's a brotherhood.
It is.
Black, white, they pick up for each other.
Yeah,
because that's just what they're.
That's the way that
supposed
the
to
brotherhood
do,
is.
And it just seems like they. me, in my opinion, like they're making it. I don't feel like they're doing a bunch of ownership. I think that they're doing more of the blame on this woman, in my opinion. Like,
I
oh,
mean, she'll take a
she
little bit.
should take some
I want
responsibility
to
in
say
this,
this because I want to get this out. I want to say
but they
this.
actions.
No,
Okay.
I mean, no. From what I'm reading and what Jade read, from what they say, the statement coming from that police department when they were sent out to the major media outlets, okay, they pulled her over. She was ticketed for drifting into another
Right.
lane, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Now, Miss Campbell refused to sign a ticket, which is against the law in Georgia. I
Mm-hmm.
understand that. So she should have just signed it, without making any scene of trouble because
Mm-hmm.
I got to be honest. I mean, you already know the police are already on edge. A lot of these white cops
Mm-hmm.
are scary any damn way. So why give them
Edge 'em on.
why edge them on? Why give them any ammunition? Why even entertain that? So the best thing to do is just suck up your ego, suck up your pride, suck up whatever
Mm.
feelings you have at that moment, and just go about your day. Last thing you need is some kind of injustice, some kind of some uh long going ongoing trauma you have to deal with. But like I said again, that she should have just signed the ticket and whatever else they asked of her, and without the extra lip, without the over the top, conversation, and went about her business. However, that doesn't excuse the police's actions whatsoever, because that was the most unfortunate, messed up situation. I mean, that was an older lady. That, like Jay said, that could be somebody's mother, grandmother, whatever. And just to see that is really heartbreaking. But the Jay posed a great question. What are black people going to do? That's the thing, because from what I'm seeing, a lot of police are testing the waters. They're trying to see how black people is going to react to every situation that happens, and they do it intentionally to see what our tolerance level is, and are we going to stand up for ourselves? But let's be honest, we're some cowards. Are we doing anything right now besides raising hell on social media? I'm saying, as far as this situation with the older woman that got assaulted by the police, do we do anything? I mean, did we do anything to help her?
Yeah, I'm in my feelings about this one.
Because if she got assaulted, so I'm sorry. I ain't, them cops should have got their ass busted. Should have been busting their ass, because it's just certain things you don't do. You disrespecting the elderly, so you should get dealt with however you get dealt with. But I feel like that was uncalled for, but I'm just telling you how I feel about it. But what I'm trying to say is black people became too cowardly.
Some.
A lot of them.
A lot. Okay.
Let's be honest, because if this situation, they saw what happened, not like no one saw it. The same thing with the brothers of Starbucks. The same thing with the young brother that went to Waffle House after prom. He was going out to eat, on a date or whatever. Same thing that's happened to young brothers that got killed by the police. Whether it's a little boy, little girl, young man, young woman. What have we done? What? Tell me. No, none of us has retaliated. None. Well, we can sit here, march, rally, protest, bitch and complain, but yet we haven't made no moves yet. We haven't put action into effect yet. That's gonna help uplift our people. I mean, we supposed to be we a black nation, so we supposed to support each other. We supposed to hold each other down. We supposed to have each other back. We're supposed to attack any opposition. That's how it goes. That's like if that happened to another race, you think that would have went down that way? You think if that was an Asian woman and she get attacked, you think the Asian people not gonna do nothing? Come on. So all I'm saying is we just need to grow some balls. We need to snap into reality and knowing that it's getting to the point where it's affecting our older people, the elderly, our the elders in the community. So we have to make sure to protect them. We have to make sure we do. And that just goes across the board, whether it's the black woman, the black man, the young black female, the young black male. We should make sure that we can protect each other. Just like the white race do the same thing for their people. As you can see, with all this white privilege, and now Donald Trump is in office, and he's pushing this whole propaganda of MAGA, making America great again. So we just need to redirect our energy in places that are important. So we so busy entertaining. I love hip hop and all this stuff. So,
Well, facts. Thanks, Judah, for reminding me about facts.
right. And let me put a disclaimer out there. This ain't no hate towards nobody.
Not at all.
But this is just logical. Just like if someone, just like if you go to Iraq, right? The U.S. invades Iraq. Do you think Iraq is just gonna sit there and let their people just get blown up? They're gonna find some kind of way to retaliate back. That's just a human right. That's just something you're supposed to do. Just like when they had these major world wars, when USA would divide Vietnam, do you think they were just gonna allow USA to just destroy all of them in that whole war? No. What happened in Vietnam War? The USA got defeated because the Vietnam was prepared to die for their people. And that's how it's supposed to go. No matter what had happened, they was ready. It didn't matter what the outcome was. They wasn't thinking about all that. All they thought about was protecting their people as much as they could to seek some kind of salvation for their entire nation. And that's what it's about. But black people lost that sense. We lost sense of self-preservation. We are self-destroying ourselves. And that's just the truth. But I had to throw a disclaimer out there. I'm not trying to spew no hate, teach no hate, say commit violence. I'm not saying none of that. I'm just saying I'm speaking in logical sense of what a nation should do, to preserve our existence. That's all I'm saying. I just want to put that out there.
Definitely. Ditto. Hashtag ditto. Yes. So again, the question put out there is, what would you do? One is, what would you do if that was a loved one of yours? How would you respond to that situation? If it was a older person, mother, aunt, just someone that, just one of your loved ones. How would you respond? How would you react to this situation? Would you just let it go? Would you sweep it under the rug, let it go, or what would you do?
What would you do?
I told you I'm going to jail.
I had to ask it again because I know you was gonna reiterate that, boy. That touched your heart, didn't it?
Yeah, it did.
Which I understand. It's understandable.
This is my feeling. I'm in my feelings about that because that really bothered me.
Right.
And that woman's not my mother, but that woman is a woman in my tribe, in my community.
Right.
She is an elder, an older person.
And I just feel like we just was helpless and we couldn't even help her.
And couldn't help her, right? Like, again, I'm not taking away. Yes, she could have been a little bit more cooperative. So,
which I agree on that.
So I'm not taking that away, but for the actions that they did, they just took it way. They took it way out of content.
Way far.
Dragging her and doing all of that,
assaulting her,
was too much.
I mean, that wasn't
entirely
even
too much. And so, with that, when they asked her to sign that ticket and she refused to sign her ticket, as me and Uno said, which is required by law in Georgia, and told her that she would be arrested for not complying. Okay, so she requested a supervisor who they said she requested a supervisor who was immediately notified. So did that supervisor ever come out to the scene?
No, I
Okay,
don't think so.
I'm not clear on
Because
that.
that would have been reported in the major media outlets if he did.
Right. And so, of course, because it had a dash cam video, it escalated. So, Did they really call the supervisor?
I doubt they
I
did.
don't think
I don't
that they
think.
really called
Nah,
the supervisor.
they ain't call no damn
I think it
supervisor.
sound good, but I don't think they called.
They
the
just threw
supervisor
that in there to make it sound
make
good.
it sound good, and of course they're gonna again cover each other's back because that's what they do.
And do you know the media and the police system work together?
They work together.
It's all a brotherhood.
Exactly, and they hype it up.
Can't believe everything you read in the major media outlets.
You really can't. You cannot. So yeah, this just I'm sure this is going to take this woman. What is her name?
Miss Houston.
Miss Houston. I'm sure.
Let me see. Look up her first name.
This is going to take some time with her. My prayers and my thoughts and the good vibe and the positive energy. I hope she's able to, number one, learn from it, to not do that, because again, I'm in my feelings about this. However, they're saying that she was driving a little, like as if maybe.
No, excuse me, Rose Campbell.
Okay.
Excuse me, guys.
Rose Campbell. Miss Rose Campbell.
I'm getting that mixed up with the last story we just did, but Rose Campbell.
So, they're saying that she drifted into another lane. So again, I don't know how true that is or not. If she was, I hope she's much more careful with doing that, because they probably could have took that into another place, like have said she was drunk,
yeah,
or anything.
And
so
she could have died in that situation.
Right. So
seriously, man.
Whatever part she did play in it, I hope that is a well-learned lesson. She might not even want to get on the road for a while again.
She's traumatized, I'm sure.
She is traumatized, especially with they're putting their hands on her, and you don't know if that could have went way somewhere else. So my heart and everything, I hope.
With these police how these police minds are set up, they just ready to go that far. They're just ready to take it there. So yeah, you're right. It could have went somewhere else.
Deep. This world, boy, I'm telling you. It's good. I don't have a problem with people escaping, getting away, looking at whatever they want to look at, and do whatever you do, as long as you're not harming somebody or harming yourself. I mean, we got to face these realities, even if we don't want to face them, and it is uncomfortable. I'll be the first to say it's uncomfortable sometimes, the things that we have to discuss or the things that we see in real life situations. They are uncomfortable, but they must be presented, because at some point in time we got to stand up.
Yeah, be able to face it.
Right. So definitely.
That's true. You're right.
Did you have something else?
No, I don't have anything else. Do you have another article you want to read?
I do. Well, we can go on to the next. You can go on to the next.
Sure.
So yeah, people, definitely just be cautious. And I understand we don't want to agitate these officers as well. So I know it's extremely hard for us as Black and Brown.
Yes.
Because
we emotional people. We emotional people.
And be able to shut up and not run our yip.
But we're gonna run it. We can't
and not say or do some things. I do get that. But we got to find a solution to something. Something. What that is, we got to find a solution.
But then again, the police system is not designed to service Black people anyway. Mm-hmm. It was meant to capture slaves. Do I need to say more? Has it changed? Tell me, has it changed? It has not changed.
Years changed. Situation hasn't.
Exactly. Now, it might not be physical slavery catching a slave.
Slave, right.
But they found in their mind a creative, indirect, low-key way to capture in their minds slaves, but they don't say slaves literally.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have an article. Okay, before I start this article, we're gonna move on to the next topic, which is the young black male who took his sisters to prom at Waffle House was assaulted by police.
Oh, before you read that, let me give a quick little shout out. Who is this person? I don't know who it is.
Oh,
but
shout out to Ounce. I do
Ounce.
Beach Jordan. Shout out,
Appreciate
bro.
you,
Thank you
appreciate
for
you,
watching
appreciate
the
you.
live. Thank you.
Thank you. And I also want to give a shout out to Judith B. Grinding Robert. That's another thing that we did this weekend.
Judith, shout out to you.
For the Mother's Day weekend thing, Judith B. Grinding. We are in business connecting with her, so we hung out actually face to face with some time with each other, so that was real cool. We went to the Sweet Auburn Festival, so we definitely appreciate her. We're going to be doing some business networking, in the upcoming near future real soon. We'll let you see it. We'll let you know when it's done. We'll let you know when it's done. We're not gonna put nothing else out there because y'all
go jinx it up and go copy it and
do
it
up and try to LLC it and
thinking it's yours and ain't yours.
Exactly, and it's
with your non-creative ass like you created it.
So you're just gonna wait to the finished product. But we had a really cool time at the Sweet Auburn Festival on Saturday.
Absolutely. It was hot as hell too.
It was hot, okay. And I'm a light-skinned sister, but I was kind of sweating, me and my little Semite self.
You must run get a little tan.
I got just a little bit of tan, okay. But it was hot. But we had a good time. We had a good time, and I'm glad Judith had a good time as well. So it was cool being with positive, like-minded people, because it's nothing bad like when you are with people and they just not in your energy.
They don't match your frequency.
They don't match.
I don't vibe with everybody.
Exactly. So we glad we yes, it was definitely beyond hot.
Hot as hell. Because it would feel like a hell out there.
I mean, really. But yeah, we appreciate that cool vibe, that cool interaction that we got going on. So you guys, you watch out. And also, I'm putting her plug in. She has a business. Type it in, Judith, for people to see it so they can definitely support you.
And go support.
Go support. Stop
Black
acting.
business. Support.
You're paying $300 and $400 for these Jordans and them
getting all this designer clothes
and all them designers. So you can certainly put that energy and that money into a B.O.B. Black-owned business.
At least at least you endorsing something and it's beneficial.
And it's coming from the heart, and it's coming with love when it's made.
And then you put the money in your own people's pocket, not the white man's pocket. That's just real. You put the money in your own people's pocket.
Mm-hmm. See that, people? When y'all see that now or in the replay, her business is called Exfoliating Shower Treats by Judith.
She thinks she doing
something. She doing something.
Right.
She doing. Look at her. She'll go somewhere. Okay, let's move on to the next one.
So as I said, we're gonna have this topic about the young black male who was with his sister, taking her to prom, but after the prom was over, they went to Waffle House, and then he got assaulted by the police. So we're gonna actually talk about that, that was very unfortunate. Go ahead.
Disclaimer too, okay, we're not saying that you can't support outside of black businesses. We're just encouraging you to please support black-owned businesses.
Absolutely.
Please don't forget about black-owned businesses. Okay, I just want to make sure I had that disclaimer.
Don't make it as no second option, third option, fourth option. Put it on the back burner when you only use it when it's convenient. Like if there's a racial issue that comes out and it's heavy out there in social media and just the news and all this, or you encounter a racist situation, also you want to support black when you should have been supporting it. But yes, if you support white businesses, that's you. Because
I bought from
me too,
from other races. I definitely have. I'm not gonna hold you a lie. I have, and it was cool. But I'm saying I am an advocate of my tribe, so
I support my tribe. I really do.
Just gotta say that. Yep, consistency.
Gotta be consistent.
Hashtag facts.
And I think it's a habit too. You gotta get into the habit, like, and then it just becomes second nature. I think what it is that Black people support other races so much because it's just in your face all the time. It's exposed all the time. Everywhere you go, there's other businesses that's non-Black, and for years and years. So over time, they're just accustomed to that. Oh, I'm gonna go straight into the mall and just go buy something, instead of stepping outside of that box when they see Black businesses, not so much in society, but you see it a lot online, and you probably catch it at festivals. Not to say they don't have stores, physical locations out here, but I'm saying there's less representation of Black businesses out here, which is why people are so much in the habit of just go buying in places that's non-Black. But just imagine that if you always seeing Black businesses all over the place, it just be a habit. It just be second nature to do it. But now that people, their minds are so programmed to think one way, is trying to step outside the box is kind of difficult for some people.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. We just, I get it with all that.
Yeah.
Just don't forget to support BOBs as well.
Yes, gotta stay consistent, like Judith said.
Consistency.
Build in your own. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Okay, this is coming from yahoo.com. The headline reads, a young Black man was choked by police at a Waffle House after prom. A cell phone video captured what happened. Police are investigating an incident caught on video in which a local police officer can be seen choking a young Black man outside a Waffle House restaurant in North Carolina. Anthony Wall, 22, was at a local Waffle House on May 5th after bringing his 16-year-old sister to her prom, when he supposedly got into a verbal altercation with some of the staff at the Warsaw, North Carolina Waffle House. The staff called the police because of Wall's behavior. While it is unclear what preceded the confrontation, the viral video, which has been viewed more than 600,000 times, it probably tripled now on Facebook, starts when the police officer already has his hands around Wall's neck, aggressively pushing him against a wall outside the Waffle House. Wall can be heard screaming, "Get your hands off me," as the officer wrestles him to the ground and handcuffs him. I was pretty much trying to scream for air and trying to breathe because he was holding my throat, and that's when I got aggressive with him because you are choking me, Wall told Eyewitness News 11. Warsaw's chief of police, Eric Sutherland, gave the following statement to Eyewitness News 11. We are currently investigating the whole incident, interviewing witnesses, and gathering additional video. We have also reached out to the district attorney's office to make him aware of his investigation. Once the investigation is complete and the district attorney has had a chance to review the case, we will provide the public with an update on the findings. The Warsaw Police Department has not yet responded to a request for comment on this article. What happened? Okay, that's good. What happened between Wall and the wait staff inside the Waffle House is unclear, but Wall told Eyewitness News 11 that he takes responsibility for his behavior at the restaurant, which I'm glad the brother did. Because, sometimes as Black people, we can't play victim. We can sometimes. Wall did not immediately respond to a request for comment for this article. The May 5th incident is one example on a string of recent incidences in which police officers have been reported as using extreme force against unarmed Black men and women in situations where it appears such force may be unwarranted. It also the second occurrence in 2 months in which Waffle House staff called police about a Black customer. Chiquisha Clemens, 25, was wrestled to the ground by police at a Waffle House in Alabama in April, which I remember that. The video's been viral. Do you know the one that they talking about with Chiquisha?
I do
Clemens?
Not. Is that the lady who
they wrestled down the sheet?
They wrestled and they wound up ripping her clothes off.
Yep.
Okay.
Prominent leaders
that's
in the
sick.
Man,
that's sick too. Ooh.
We're going to talk about that on another show.
Taking her clothes off, and it's not. Yeah, yeah, they did that for pleasure.
Right.
Seriously, they didn't.
But we're
Yeah,
going to talk about that
yeah,
on
we're
our
gonna have.
show.
That's another one.
That's a
another
whole
one,
nother. I
yeah.
forgot about that one.
Mhm.
Prominent leaders in the black community are speaking out on social media about the incident, with well-known figures like Reverend Al Sharpton and Bernice King, Martin Luther King Jr.'s youngest daughter, putting public pressure on Waffle House to improve its treatment of black customers in response to Wall's choking. And of course, Bernice King, Reverend Al Sharpton posted tweets on Twitter about how they felt about the incident and trying to get active following the incident. So that was coming from yahoo.com again. Now I'm gonna say this too. I'm glad the brother took responsibility for his actions. He took accountability for what he did, and I respect him for that. Because like I just said in between reading the story, that sometimes black people do play victim. Like they didn't do nothing wrong before the police brutality went down. Not to say it's right to shoot down a black person, but I'm saying in certain situations you want to try to avoid. So you won't put yourself in compromising situations. But if you did wrong, just admit you did, and that will fuel the situation. Fueled the situation. So again, like I said, I respect the brother taking accountability for his actions, and like I said, even with Rose Campbell, it's an unfortunate situation. This shouldn't have happened like this either. It was uncalled for. I feel like the situation that the police decided to go with was irresponsible, and they could have handled it another way. It could have been a solution.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I feel about it.
Yeah, I mean, like we said, there's times when I'm taking sides for my tribe, and it's times where I mean I just got to be real with it,
Yeah.
and
Well, black folks don't want to hear that.
there are times
Playing victim again.
There are times that we play victim, and we shouldn't, own up. And I know that's hard for some of us sometimes to own up to our faults, but I mean, you got to be a big boy and a big girl. You got to own up. I know it's hard. And I mean, I say it from experience. There's times, even today, like as far as current, that there's times I don't want to hear stuff.
Yeah.
But I mean, in reality, I mean, I know it's just got to be real. I mean,
yeah.
I got to own up to it and be like, you know what? I got to check my own self
in order to change it.
Right. Got to check because it starts with me.
Recognize the problem.
Recognizing the problem. I got to own up. And I got to be the adult that I am, and I got to be the one to change the situation. So, what did Judith say? Why I don't understand is how many times do we have to go through extreme mistreatment till they actually do something, or one of these officers pay for what they did.
And let me just expound on that again. This is a question me and Jay proposed. What are black people going to do to counteract this police brutality? Are we going to sit and march, rally, protest, run our mouths, bitch and complain,
destroy stuff?
Because
you notice
riots.
You notice how, and my apologies.
Oh, you good?
You notice how when we get upset, right? I'm not promoting destroying nobody. However, why do we have tendencies to destroy our own?
That's some coward shit to me. They can say what they want. Right.
That's it's just weird to me, yo. Like
going back to what I said, that's coward. That's some coward shit. Is it not? Yeah. Come on, let's be honest. And like you said, take owner to what we do, and even when it's uncomfortable, and a lot of times we don't like to admit it, but let's admit it, we are some cowards. Because why, like you said, it don't make sense. Why, if police brutality occurs with our black brothers and sisters, we get mad and go riot our own neighborhood? What sense does that make? Shouldn't you be rioting at the ones that committed the crime? Wouldn't that make sense? Just like, again, I'm putting examples out here. Just like if USA took their ass to China right now, if they took their ass to China right now, wanted to go to war with China. You think they're just gonna be riling their neighborhoods up? You think they're gonna be protesting and marching and bitching and complaining? What are they doing?
Yeah, they marching. They marching to the enemy so they can
Right. Because guess what?
handle them. That's
They're
what
ready
they're
to
doing.
fight. They're ready to fight. No questions asked. We're not gonna bitch and complain. We're gonna show you we're not playing. Because we are a united front. We're gonna make sure we protect our people because it's about self-preservation. How come we not doing that? We too busy riding up our own neighborhood, but ain't got the balls go ride up the white people neighborhood or knocking out some white people like they did in California when they had the riots in California.
Mm-hmm. Judith also says getting arrested is one thing. Getting arrested and get your head slammed in the ground, choked, kicked.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
That's different. It's two different levels. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's a whole nother.
Mm-hmm.
It's a whole nother monster, man. But it goes back to what we said again. We're asking, what are black people gonna do about it? The police know what they're doing, but they're testing the waters. Like I just said it. Now the question is, what are black people gonna do about it? The police are so cocky to the point, like, yeah, we kicked your old lady. Yeah, we punched her. Yeah, we killed that.
Mm-hmm.
We dragged her. Yeah, we killed that black man. Yeah, we assaulted that black sister. Now what y'all gonna do about
it? And you know what? For all these incidents that happen, people, especially black people that film it. Okay, that I think
it's
is
no better.
I think it's good to a certain extent.
For leverage, yeah.
Right. But what else? What else beyond that?
That's true. Why record it? Why don't you just put the damn phone down, keep it in your pocket, and beat ass? Wouldn't that be the sensible thing to do?
What is beyond that?
Right.
I mean, I don't know.
This is my thing. Black people can sit here and say that, okay, but if he retaliates, then, they're going to come after him and lose his life. Well, ain't that a part of elevating your people? Don't people got to be sacrificed?
Did they not do that back in the slavery days?
Right.
A lot of our ancestors lost their life for a cause.
Right.
Even if they was scared, they still paved it forward.
Right.
For the next to come.
Yeah, for the next generation. Absolutely.
To come.
Absolutely.
We
lost the spirit. That's what it is. We have lost the spirit. We are weak people. Let's just be honest, y'all, because we are. I mean, and that's a tough pill to swallow. Yeah, and people don't want to hear it, but you know what? We need to hear it. We need to look ourselves in the mirror and see the things that we need to fix within our community. Because there's a lot we're dealing with on top of mental illness. That's a whole nother conversation.
Because we do have the mental slavery that has been going on for generations upon generations to present. And so I believe a lot has to do with that. Like you said, losing their will, losing their spirit, losing they get up and go. It's just kind of like, okay, we can talk about it, but that's about as far as we going. We not doing nothing else. We gonna have a seat and we're gonna watch the next situation happen, and we're gonna record it, and we're gonna talk about it, and then we just gonna let it go and be like, oh, they can have it, or whatever happens, they lost that drive.
It all goes down to spirit.
A lot of time, right?
We don't have the spirit.
So Judith also says we need to riot / protest courthouses, police stations, government buildings.
Not the protest part, right? Yes, not the protest part. We've done that. It don't work. It's useless. It's time to go a different way. We try to be nice about it. We try to be peaceful about it. We try to be sensible, but apparently that's not working. So you know what? We got to change the direction of this whole revolution. And I'll keep trying to tell y'all, you can't get around it. There's people that's going to have to be sacrificed. And somebody going to have to step up for their people. Somebody is. I don't know who, but somebody got to step up. You can't get around it. I don't care how much rioting you doing, how much protesting and marching. But you know what? This is part of America. There's been many wars against different races, and a lot of people have been sacrificed to benefit and help the next generation. So we're gonna have to do the same thing, whether we want to or not. It's not about a choice. We have to, because our lives on the line. This is critical. This is very important. Our lives are seriously on the line, and they want to exterminate us anyway. So we just gonna allow them to exterminate us? Is that what we want? Is that what we want? Because apparently that's what we want.
That's right. I'm putting on lip balm.
I'm just saying.
I mean, I think
I'm not saying violence is always the answer, and you don't want to go looking for it either. But if someone violates you, you do have the right to defend yourself. That's what I'm saying. But don't sit on the sidelines and not act like it happened and don't react to it, you know.
So my question to Judith is, with the rioting and the protesting on the courthouses, police stations, and government buildings, which I know that we have done on a global, what else do you think could follow up with that? Because most of the time, just a person that has done on a smaller level, rioting, protesting, government buildings, and things of that nature. You know, of course, some people get arrested and blah, 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 and they get out eventually because it's not nothing that they can really hold them on unless they do something real serious. Like, what else can we do besides that?
True.
Because that eventually, to me, and I appreciate the opinions.
We appreciate our opinions.
I definitely
thank you for your opinion.
I definitely respect your right. thoughts and opinions and stuff. That's not what I'm. That's not
right.
That's not what I'm not knocking nothing, because I love dialogue.
Yeah, I love dialogue.
I love dialogue. So what else can we do?
That's true.
Because what about when that gets old?
That's
to me, it's already old. But what about when that gets when that gets old? Like when you've done enough rioting and protesting and you see no results.
What happens next?
I'm just asking. It's not a blame thing or nothing like that. Starting our own community like the Jewish people.
And protecting our community.
Mm-hmm.
We have to self-protect.
Mm-hmm.
Against all outsiders who mean us no good.
Because again, like Judith and you said, like other communities do protect each other. They do. They protect each other.
Do.
They can go off on each other. They can even fight each other. But at the end of the day, they have each other's back.
No matter what.
In their community. You know what I'm saying? It's let's be real. I've seen where there's a lot of communities, especially just going to throw out one, and it's no hate, it's just observation, where the Asian community, they bring their stores in our neighborhoods. And I'm the first. I've had the chicken wings and the fries plenty of time, once upon a time. I've had, they bring it into our neighborhood and we fuss, complain.
But we're not doing nothing about it.
But yet you still go and you buy from them.
So why complain?
But if we opened, but they wouldn't come out into our communities and they wouldn't buy our chicken wings and fries. I'm just using that hypothetically. They wouldn't.
Or even support our stores.
A lot of them would not support us. They keep it in
the family. They do. They do.
Right? So
our own military, Judith. We need our own military.
Our own officers, militaries, our own governing laws, our own hospitals, our own sport team, etc. Yeah, we need to bring in the Black in our communities, our Black and brown, our tribe.
Yeah.
We need to have those clinics. We need to have hospitals. We need to have supermarkets that are healthy, instead of killing us off with the process and the bad food that
you said. We need more farms.
More farms.
Yeah.
More farms.
Yeah.
More farmers markets.
Absolutely.
More supermarkets.
Right.
That have the fresh vegetables, the healthier foods for us. Okay, because we don't have to go to these stores and then they got the windows because the Indians is so damn scared of us, right? Because that's who they're scared of. It ain't. It's
Hey,
not the white people. Let's be honest. They again, they're in our communities, and we're going in there and we're fussing because either the Asians or the Indians are speaking in their tongue, in their native language, and some of them, quite a few of them, probably are talking about us or doing whatever that they're
and to
doing,
be
right?
honest, a lot of that language they speak, that's native language, is our language.
Or our language, right? So we talk
We got away
about
from all of that.
yeah. So why can't we? Why can't we just be like, you know what? We're not going to support them no more.
Just don't go there.
Just don't
Just
go.
don't.
And let's build with each other.
Right.
Right. Let's come together. Let's come together as a collective and open up stuff.
Put aside our differences.
Put aside our
conflicts.
Because I was going to say that, because I was going to say, because a lot of times we don't do that because we get jealous or envious because we see the our next brother or sister making it. So now it's time for us to tear our own shit down
because of their low self-esteem,
because of their
and what they lack in doing. They lack in doing.
Mm-hmm.
That's the reason.
Mm-hmm. So
you're right though.
We need to come together and be a collective and build on these things, because one person can't always, the common Joe Blow can't always do it. We should come together and do this.
Yeah. You can't expect other people to help us. I don't know what y'all expect. Why y'all begging for it? I mean, I don't understand. Why are we begging? I mean, especially with the police. Why are we begging the police to seek justice for all the women and men that have been killed by police or been brutalized by police, when it was actually designed to destroy us anyway? So you know what? This is where we come in to govern ourselves. And like you said, Judith, govern. You know, we need our own everything. Yes, our own laws, you said. Absolutely. We do need our own laws. Like I said, protect our communities. We got to lay down laws. Not just man laws. We need divine law. That's where it comes in. We need divine law first. Yeah, and then man law. Because the man law don't supersede the divine law. See, we got away from a lot. It all this boils down to spirituality at the end of the day. You know why? We as a race, indigenous people who's been on this planet before any race that exists now. We were spiritual beings. We came on this earth to fulfill a purpose, but we disobeyed the divine and went and took on the ways of the European. Not just that, but we committed a lot of evil acts too, in essence of Lucifer. Like, we took on evil ways too. And like I said, took on the ways of the Europeans. So with all that combination, when we was taking on the ways of this plane and being demonic in our hearts, now that's stripping us down to our lower frequency. And that's where the divine had to cut it off. And he allowed the Europeans and other races to control us. That happened by design. All because we disobeyed, when we should have been following the laws anyway. We wasn't supposed to be staying here as long as we did on Earth. We were supposed to take what we needed here and go into the next round. And that's why we're going through all this stuff now. People don't get it. This is why we're going through all this stuff now. We don't know who we are. We don't know where we come from. We don't know why nothing happening. We don't even know. I mean, we don't even tap into our spirituality as we should. And this is why nothing is working for us. So you got to keep all this in mind. I mean, I could go deeper, but I just kind of put that in a nutshell. I just kind of broke it down a little summary, just give you a history of just why all this is occurring now, even in the past when things have happened to indigenous people. I mean, we got enslaved, we got beaten, we got brutalized, we got tortured, we got lynched, rapes. I mean, we also, I mean, we went through the whole colonization, we went through race mixing, we went through all this stuff. I mean, just everything. Y'all, we just all confused, we all messed up in the head. Like, it's just everything. But until we realize who we are, where we come from, what our purpose is here, we will never get anywhere at all. Like, then just us black people don't understand the power we have. We just don't understand. We're not getting it. Why do you think the police do what they do? Tell me, why do you think they do the things that they do to us? Not just police, but just people who are racist towards us. We're not like nobody else. We're different beings from all the other races here. This is why we get mistreated so much. And we're hated. Because of our genetic makeup, who we are. What the divine made us as. These other races are made from the earth, from the water. We're not made from water. We're made from carbon. So you tell me, that come from the divine source itself. So once people recognize, yes, Judith, divine law.
Mm-hmm.
So once we recognize who we are and recognize what we need to do and why certain things are happening and what can we do to change the energy that plagues this planet, then we can get somewhere. Until then, it ain't happening. Because we got a lot of shit with us as people. Seriously, a lot of things we need to work out. Okay, I'm done ranting. I'm not gonna rant no more.
No.
I ain't gonna take up too much of the show. I can go on and on, but it's just crazy, man. It's just crazy.
And yet Kanye West says it's a choice.
Slavery is a choice. But he
Slavery is a choice.
But he didn't thoroughly break it down. Now, okay, if he had said mental slavery was a choice, he said it after the fact. It's not like it's not like he said mental slavery is a choice. It's not like he said physical slavery is a choice. He just said slavery is a choice. Did you know when he said that, people are going to interpret that as, when black people think of that, they think back in the day slavery, like back centuries ago, far as what our ancestors went through and the physical torture they endured, and just everything. That's where black people's minds automatically went to. So that's why it's so sensitive. And we still going through slavery now. It's not the same form of slavery, but we still going through slavery now. If he had said mental slavery is a choice, then people would agree with him a lot more. I think Kanye should have came. If you're gonna make a sensitive statement like that, you better make sure you have all your facts. You better make sure you have documentation, fact check, be thorough with your opinions. And also give different sides and angles to slavery. Because remember now, not every indigenous person was a slave.
Mm-hmm.
You have free slave, and then there was indigenous people that wasn't categorized in free slaves or actual slave. There was some who were just indigenous to the land, who wasn't bound to no slavery at all. So I think if he had touched on all those layers, people would have able to, let me be specific, because this is not talking to no other race. If he had broken down in a way where black people can, understand it from different angles and point of view, then black people would have been able to digest it more, a lot better. But that's not the way he came off. So what did he expect was going to happen? I mean, you know.
Mhm.
But now I will say, I said we had this show last week about Kanye.
Mhm.
I said this last week. There's a few things that I did agree with him on. I'm not
Likewise.
I'm not dismissing what he said on that. But that's it. I mean, I'm not making a big deal of what he said. I mean, I take his ass with a grain of salt, to be honest with you. Because if he talking about slavery is a choice, how come he's still in the predicament he in? If it's that easy, if he said slavery is a choice, so why the hell he in the position he in then? How come he ain't out his situation? See, it's not so fucking simple, is it? So slavery is not a choice then. He's not just in mental slavery; he's in physical slavery. If everybody
Spiritual
keep
warfare going on.
oh yeah, man, and he had these folks capable for Kanye. Well, shit. If y'all agree with his statements, then how come y'all last in y'all position then? How come y'all still in y'all situation if slavery is a choice? Think about it. It's not so simple, is it? To get out of slavery, is it? So and that's the whole point I'm getting to. I mean, because our ancestors endured so much. You think they wanted to be in that position of being a physical slave? You think that's a choice they wanted to make? And how about the ones that rebelled against it? How about the ones that actually retaliated against the slave masters? But when they did, what was the result? What was the outcome? What happened? We all know what happened to them because a lot of them did not survive at all. I don't think in there, not too many survived.
Mm-hmm.
And then you gotta understand the thing that held slaves back too was the laws that were put in place too to restrict slaves and free slaves. See, that's what I'm saying. If Kanye had just came with different point of views and angles, it would have been better to digest. See, you got to talk about the laws that are put in place to hold us back too. And then even our ancestors, the indigenous people. You say, yeah, you got to look at all that. Anything you would like to add?
I think not to that.
You think not to that?
No, I don't have anything to add to that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you pretty much have said.
You look so confident in that answer.
I am confident
where your
in
face
that answer.
looks.
I am confident in that answer.
Yes, I am good. I'm good in that answer.
Yeah,
With everything you said.
That's how you say it.
Yeah, I hear you on everything you said.
It's just real, man. So we gotta wake up, man. We gotta wake up as a people. All this.
Definitely.
We doing too much sleeping. Too much.
Yeah, we doing a lot of long sleeping, boy. We're getting the Z's in for real.
I mean, damn, man. It's crazy.
So let me do a quick little sidebar. This wasn't in part of the flyer. However, I just kind of went through it as I was looking for some other stuff in the previous flyers. Now, this is not a black or white. This is a general article. They're all, yeah. Anyway, so this comes from CBSNews.com. The most dangerous cities in America ranked, right? The most violent crime stats. So this says in 2016, the U.S. saw a 3.4% uptick in violent crime compared with the previous year, the FBI reported, although overall it remains near historic lows. Probably went up a little more percentage with that.
Is that low or it's lows?
Lows, excuse me.
It did look like lows though.
Lows, near historic lows. Okay. There were about 386 violent crimes per 100,000 residents in 2016, which again, that number probably may be higher. According to the FBI, which classifies murder, negligent manslaughter, rape, robbery, and aggravated assault as violent crimes. So these are the U.S. cities with the highest rate of violent crimes in 2016. Again, this 2016 is probably the same, or
it probably doubled though.
Doubled.
Exactly,
doubled. So starting with 25, Nashville, Tennessee. They say the rate of violent crime in Nashville, Davidson County is 1,102 per 100,000 residents. In 2016, they said 81 people were murdered there. 24, Chicago, Illinois, which we know.
You would
Chicago,
think that would be number
Illinois.
one,
The
though.
violent crime rate in Chicago is 1,106 per 100,000 residents. The FBI says 765 people were murdered in Chicago in 216. In Chicago, excuse me, I'm getting tired. Murdered in Chicago in 2016. That's more than the total number in New York City and Los Angeles combined.
I'm going to excuse myself real quick. I'll be right back, folks.
23, number 23, Minneapolis, Minnesota. The violent crime rate in Minneapolis is 1,109 per 100,000 residents. 35 people were murdered there in 2016. Minneapolis has a high rape and robbery rate. Number 22 is Buffalo, New York. The violent crime rate in Buffalo was 1,110 per 100,000. 44 people were murdered in 2016. It has a high robbery rate. The next would be a tie, number 20, Albuquerque, New Mexico. The violent rate in Albuquerque is 1,112 per 100,000 residents. 61 people were murdered in 2016. They have a steep rise in crime in Albuquerque. It's crazy. Also, the tie with Albuquerque, New Mexico is Beaumont, Texas. Their crime rate is 1,112 per 100,000 residents. In 2016, 61 people were murdered there. That's the biggest spike in crime. '18, I might have got to 19 already. Okay, 19 is Springfield, Illinois. The crime rate in Illinois' capital city is 1,116 per 100,000. There were 6 murders in 2016. There were aggravated assaults there in Springfield. 18 is Washington, D.C. Their crime rate is 1,132 per 100,000 residents. In 2016, 138 people were murdered. Washington's falling violent crime rate. It's just really sad. Number 17 is Anchorage, Alaska. Their crime rate is 1,144 per 100,000 residents. 28 people were murdered in 2016. Anchorage property crime spike. Number 16 is Lansing, Michigan.
I'm back, y'all.
The crime rate there is 1,164 per 100,000 residents. 9 murders were reported in Lansing, Michigan in 2016. Lansing's rape rate. They have the 7th highest rape rate in the country. 15 is Toledo, Ohio. It's 1,192 per 100,000 residents. In 2016, 37 people in the city were murdered. 14 is San Bernardino, California. Their rate is 1,324. And in 2016, 62 people in the city were murdered. I'm sorry. 13 is Springfield, Missouri. They have 1,337, their crime rate per 100,000 residents. 8 people were murdered in the city in 2016. Number 12 is Indianapolis, Indiana. In 2016, they had 140 people in the city that were murdered. 10, Stockton, California. They had 49 people that was murdered in the city in 2016. A tie with them is Oakland, California. That's number 10. They had 49 people that were murdered in the city in 2016. Number 9 is Little Rock, Arkansas. In 2016, they had 42 people were murdered in that city. Milwaukee, Wisconsin comes in at 8. In 2016, they had 141 people that were murdered in that city. 7 is Cleveland, Ohio. They had 135 people that were murdered in 2016. 6 is Kansas City, Missouri. They had 129 people murdered in that city in 2016. Number 5 is Rockford, Illinois. They had 26 people that were murdered in that city in 2016. Number 4 is Baltimore, Maryland. They had 318 people murdered in 2016. Number 3 is Memphis, Tennessee. They had 196 people murdered there. Number 2 is St. Louis, Missouri. They had 188 people that were murdered there in that city in 2016. And the number 1 is Detroit, Michigan. Detroit has the highest violent crime rate in the nation with 2,047 incidents per 100 residents. In 2016, 303 people were murdered in Detroit. Detroit's increase in violent crime rose to 16.3% from 2015 to 2016. The increase was largely due to an increase in aggravated assault, which jumped by 30.6% from 2015 to 2016. So I read that not to scare people, but I read that to make everybody aware that this is real globally. And we have to have another way of how we're going to do this, because people are getting killed off. And a lot of these cities do have a large Black presence. Yeah. Even though this article is has no black or white, but a lot of these cities have a lot of Black presence in it. And I'm not saying it's right to kill white people, blue people, Indian people, Asian people. It doesn't matter. But you see a lot of our community being killed. I'm not saying others are not, but it's a large presence that shows us. And it's real. And again, I know we may not like to deal with it, and it's uncomfortable, and some people may have the mentality where it's not affecting us, and whatever you're thinking, but it's real. We're going to need to deal with a lot of this stuff. There's a lot of stuff happening in Atlanta. If you're from Atlanta, wherever you're at, it's a lot of stuff happening in New York and Jersey and Philly and California and all these places that we named. So
Louisiana, especially.
Louisiana, right. Like, we got to wake up. If you sleeping, it's time to get the hell up. Like, seriously.
We've been sleeping too long, man.
We've been sleeping a long time. Like,
way too long.
Way too long.
I had to stretch that shit.
So I just want to just kind of read that. And of course, I know this is the numbers have definitely increased since 2016, because we're in 2018. So I just want to just read that.
Okay.
So
you made some valid points, though. I agree 100% of everything you said. Absolutely. Anything else you like to read before we move on to the next one?
No, I'm done with that.
All right, so our last and final topic is about the ex-NFL player who was assaulted in Henry County, which is in Georgia. Assaulted in Henry County by police. Okay, so I'm going to read from myajc.com about this incident. The NFL player says he was assaulted. Okay, he got assaulted. A former football player says he was first the victim of a hate crime and then was assaulted by Henry County police during his December arrest. Though the police department said Friday it is investigating the allegations, a video released of Desmond Marrow's arrest doesn't tell the whole story, according to the incident report. The December 2nd incident allegedly started while Marrow and two others were driving. According to the police report, officers were called to a Target shopping center on Jonesboro Road, and when they arrived, an agitated Marrow was outside his truck and using profanity, police said. Marrow told officers he was driving when a cup of coffee was thrown at his truck from a sedan, so he chased the sedan. Marrow said that he was only chasing the car because he wanted to have a conversation with the two males about what they had done, the police report states. After Marrow and the other driver pulled into the parking lot, witnesses heard Marrow threatening to kill the two in the other car, according to police. When he was told he was being arrested, Marrow refused to comply with officers' orders to put his hands behind his back, kicked an officer, and continued struggling with officers when he was on the ground, according to police. In a social media post, Marrow says he cooperated with officers' orders but was still assaulted while handcuffed. During the arrest, the police knocked my teeth out, slammed me on my head, and choked me out until I was unconscious, Marrow wrote. I was fully cooperating with the officers with zero resistance. I thought I was going to die. An ambulance was called, but Marrow refused treatment, according to police. At the jail, Marrow complained of a head injury and was taken to Piedmont Henry Hospital, where he was treated and released. As he was talking to the hospital staff, he said that he had already told the girl on the sideline about his injury. The police report states Marrow was arrested and charged with making terroristic threats and obstruction, both felony charges, and reckless driving and aggressive driving, both misdemeanors, according to the Henry County District Attorney's Office. A magistrate judge later dropped the terroristic threats charge, and the case was transferred to the DA's office, which must now decide if the case will be presented to a grand jury. DA Darius Patillo said his office is also investigating the officer's actions. The portion of the video distributed is graphic and violent, and we understand why people are disturbed by this, Patillo said. I can assure you that once the investigation is complete, we will respond appropriately. As we investigate this case, we're asking the community to remain calm and exercise patience as we continue to collect evidence and interview all parties. Friday afternoon, Atlanta attorneys Andrea Boyd and Chris Stewart said that he have not been retained. They have been retained by Marrow to investigate the alleged police brutality. Prior to his arrest in a shopping center parking lot, Marrow was called racial slurs by two people in another vehicle as he was driving, his attorney said in an email statement. He was called racial slurs by two white males while driving and had hot coffee thrown in his vehicle by these individuals. Marrow's attorney said he then followed the individuals and a discussion ensued. Henry police said Friday an officer involved in the arrest has been placed on administrative leave pending the outcome of an internal investigation. The Henry County Police Department takes any charges of excessive use of force very seriously and wants to assure the public that this event will be fully investigated. The department said in an emailed statement. Marrow 30 is a former University of Toledo cornerback. Marrow was the NFL's Houston Texans and then the Tampa Bay Buccaneers during the 2012 offseason, but was released in preseason. So yeah. Now in this case, I feel like the brother was justified. Now, white people going around thinking they could just say anything and do anything to us and just feel like they just feel like they're gonna get away with it, but they should know we are not our ancestors. So, see, that's what I'm saying. Like, you got all this racism and hatred going on.
Excuse me.
I mean, nothing changes. I mean, there might be some people who say they disagree with what Marrow did. I don't disagree with what he did. I mean, if you was called racial slurs and the coffee's thrown at you, that's really that's like totally disrespectful.
That's so personal, right? It's
Right.
disrespectful and it's
Very,
personal.
very personal. How else was he supposed to act?
So again, let me ask that silly. Let me ask this silly question. What would you do if you were in that situation? If you was disrespected, you had coffee thrown in your face.
I would do the same thing.
I mean, hit, just whatever. If they just came all up in your space and just totally disrespected, are you gonna tell me you're gonna turn the other cheek, or you gonna form a circle and you're gonna just have this? We're gonna pray it out, and I'm not knocking prayer for anybody who see this replay. Go there with me, okay? So stop.
Gonna have a kumbaya.
What are we gonna do?
What?
Elbow to elbow and walk down the street. And,
I love my enemy.
Right. And say, I forgive. Meanwhile, they doing this disrespectful.
And they don't forgive you.
And they're doing it. And to me, it seemed real personal, like they were looking to kill him.
Right.
That's what it seemed like to me, like they was looking to kill him.
Right.
Just another black man, gone.
He was doing a lot of positive things. He actually has an Instagram. You guys should look into that because I don't have the information on that right now. I do follow my Instagram. I just don't remember his Instagram name. And that post is on there. The video and his caption of everything that happened that day, and just he was expressing how he felt in that situation at that time.
I don't know if you can look it up, Desmond Marrow.
Yeah.
Try.
Or just Google it. Just put Desmond Marrow Instagram,
yeah.
and I'm sure it'll pop up and it'll tell you, how to get there. And then on top of that, his lady left him. I mean, I feel that was messed up, though. I mean, she didn't stick by his side at all. So.
And he absolutely wasn't doing anything wrong.
Right. So that lets
me looking at that money.
Yeah, I said that. I said, so wow. So really, you wasn't there for him the whole time. You just basically revealed your own self. You know what, Marrow? It was for the best. You done dodged the bullet with that black heifer. I mean, I understand women want security and all that, but I'm saying if he's doing something positive and he's holding it down, he's supporting you, he's putting food on the table, and y'all doing that with each other is a fair exchange. You're supposed to be down for him no matter what, because he's doing what he's supposed to do, and then you just jet off because life is not the same no more now that he got arrested because he lost everything. I thought you're supposed to be down for a person through good or bad. That's what I thought.
Yeah, well, apparently a lot. You'll really see how some people are. Like they good with you when you on your high and you doing okay, and it's not a lot of challenges or a lot of stuff going on. But the minute something happened, they show you their true self.
Yeah,
they do.
True.
In my experience, a lot of times people have shown me their true selves, relationship, just personal friendships, and all that. Yeah, they show you.
I know all about
stuff.
that.
and they will stop
you. Yeah, they will. They'll turn it back on you. Loyalty is limited. Loyalty is selective.
Now, as we were talking, I was looking up Desmond Marrow, so you can find him on Instagram at I beat the odds _.
Yeah, that's
I beat the odds _ if you're interested
in that post is on there
and following him.
It's the video.
Mm-hmm.
It's on there.
It's definitely on there, and so follow him. I hope he finds again some peace and where he can just move forward and hopefully the divine powers that be
will work it out for him
and will place him with someone who's gone stand by him, good, bad, indifferent, as they say, ride till the wheels come off.
I hope he meets a very genuine, kind, nice, wonderful lady. But yeah, he don't need all that.
Exactly.
So you'll be okay, brother. You dodged the bullet. Believe me, you did.
Hmm.
Because I think it would have got worse.
It probably would have.
Because she would have been plotting on you to get your money. So
And it's a shame.
it's for the best.
It's
for
a
the
shame.
best.
And then side note, you wonder why some of these black men, they go outside of their race and they choose to date other races. Because
Yeah.
there are times
I can't be mad.
when we're just not all of us, because I don't want to put us all in the group.
No,
It's not fair.
some.
But there's some or enough that y'all do that. And then y'all got the nerve to get an attitude when they go somewhere else. They date out of their
To
race,
seek happiness.
or marry out of their race to
Just
seek
for happiness.
for some happiness.
Right. What's wrong with that?
So yeah.
That's their business. And whether I agree with it or not, I don't really have to speak on all that. Much as I want to see black love, I say that all the time on social media. Much as I want to see black love, I do see it. I advocate for it. I love it. I endorse it. All the above, etc., etc. Much as I do, but I know at the same time that's not for everybody. You don't. I mean, some people are just not there, and they're just not in that space to practice black love. You know, as far as relationship. There's some people that seek happiness elsewhere for whatever reason that may be. But long as they're happy, long as they're living their life, then hey, more power to you. I mean, it's no judgment here. Do you? Fuck
exactly.
it. Fuck it. It is what it is. What can you do? You're not gonna make them go mess with a black woman or date one. You can't force nobody to be with nobody. That's their choice. And then whatever comes after that, that's their choice. They got to deal with. So I mean, that's none of my business. So hey, but you're right. I can see why some black men do date outside their race.
I see your views and points as well. Right. Absolutely. So
and I see why black women do the same thing.
Oh yeah, they do the same thing.
Can't forget about the black woman.
Can't forget about the
they
sisters
date outside
too,
their race.
They date outside their race too because they sick of the black man.
Right.
Yep. For whatever their reason is, so it's a two-way thing. You know. Do y'all like you said? It's whatever y'all do. I love black love on black love. But if y'all choose to do what you do, please do it. But do it well. Do it right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Be smart, please.
Be smart. Be smart. Just don't grab any old thing. That's for any color across the board.
Then I got a problem with you. I had to talk shit about your ass. You don't grab the ugliest ass white girl you can find.
Oh no, don't do that.
How you step up?
What about the ugliest black girl? The ugliest black guy?
They had that too, but how black men gonna talk about they gonna step over 10 black women, but you pick the ugliest ass white woman?
That's so sad.
That's an insult. Seriously, that's an insult. I mean, if you're gonna step over 10 black women, can you at least find your fine, beautiful white woman or something? If you're gonna do that,
looks are important.
But come on, you know how some black men be with the ugliest white girls that be heavy set and they look old as hell in the face. I don't do that though.
Yeah, I mean, I know that they do. I'm just coming from a place of
I get what you're saying.
No, I get.
It's not all about physical.
No, I get what you're saying too. I'm just saying. Looks do play a part. Let's not front nobody.
Yeah,
looks do play a part. Being pretty and attractive and handsome and all of that, it do play a
part
part, right? So you definitely, when you had that, please also,
I'm being honest.
I hear you. Please also, make sure they got some inside too.
That's very true.
And some brain, some intelligence and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Everything that look good don't mean it's good.
Everything right.
That's very true. They can lack so much in the inside.
Right.
That's very true.
Very true.
You're right. So absolutely.
So I don't have anything else
to
say with that. We're
done.
Judy Patootie, we really appreciate you having dialogue with us. Thank you so much. I respect your comments and your views and thoughts and all that good stuff.
Thank you.
Love dialogue and all of that.
Absolutely.
Also, thank who is that?
I do beat
Ounce,
Jordan.
I do beat Jordan. We
Appreciate
appreciate
you.
you for coming
Appreciate
on
you.
as well, and those that's going to listen to the replay, we appreciate you in advance as well. I don't think anybody else may have came on, but it's all good.
But if you did, we
But
thank
if you
you for
do,
tuning in.
exactly, we thank you as well. If you want to continue that conversation that we had today on our show, you can make sure that you can always leave those comments, even though we'll be off the show. Doesn't mean that you can't stop having dialogue,
Yeah,
because
don't mean-
we'll definitely do that.
Absolutely.
If you want to, if you have articles, topics, or something that you feel is not a black thing, so to speak, it's a non-black. I'm trying to stay politically correct without trying to offend people. Send us send us that information at chitchatchew_show@yahoo.com. Again, that's chitchatchew_show@yahoo.com. If you're interested in being on the show, that's fine too. We can agree to disagree. We love that.
Yeah.
Again, hit us up at chitchatchew_show@yahoo.com. We take we accept individuals, we accept small businesses, medium, large, you name it, activists, advocates, you name it. We are an open, uninhibited show.
Absolutely.
And we have no problem with that. Even if it makes us uncomfortable, we still have no problem with that. Reach out to us. We would love it. But definitely when you reach out to us, make sure that your word is your bond, that you're going to go through with the show, because flyers are made. We take the time to put it out on social media, and that takes time because we're both as busy as the next person. But this is
That's
our
no
business.
excuse.
No excuse.